Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning to you. It is Friday, May 10th.
Happy Friday. So happy to be with you guys this morning.
Happy Friday.
And I'm happy because a nice cool front came in overnight. That humidity that's been like searing on the back of your neck every morning.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't really there.
It was uncomfortable yesterday. We're going to talk to Justin about that in a moment, but we're changing things up this morning. We go right to RJ Marquez for an update on traffic.
All right, guys. Yeah, take a quick look here at our TransGuide traffic cameras, and we see things looking pretty good across the city of San Antonio right now. No major incidents or delays to speak of at the moment. But again, 14 at Blanco, traffic moving along pretty good in both directions there. Same situation here at 35 southbound, the downtown area at Main. We do have some ongoing construction there at 90 and Nogalitos. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. I want to quickly show you a real quick shot. This is a stalled vehicle being reported, Loop 1604 westbound at Bandera Road. Not causing too many delays in that area on the northwest side, but something we will continue to keep an eye on. And here's that construction that we've been seeing over there, 90 eastbound at Nogalitos. Again, we just saw that camera a little while ago, and it looks like traffic is still getting through there as crews continue to pick up in that area. But want to talk about an incident overnight on the northwest side. Of course, there's been a lot of construction over there, so people used to seeing some emergency vehicles. That was not the case. This was not related to construction, but in fact some construction workers. A very scary situation there. Some workers who got into some serious trouble on the access road of 1604 and I-10 West overnight. So this is some overnight video into KSAT this morning. San Antonio police say that the workers were trying to connect some beams to concrete pillars when a chain broke and one of the beams fell onto a cherry picker. So a very scary situation there. So it was knocked to the ground, trapping the workers inside the basket. Firefighters were able to rescue the men. However, they were taken to University Hospital in serious condition. So definitely a scary scene out there, but fortunately, they are at the hospital at the moment right now. All right, let's go over to weather and check in with Justin as we got this cold front that made its way through. Justin, how are things looking this morning?
Thank you, RJ. Looking better. You know, it's not cold outside by any stretch of the imagination, but it does feel just a little bit better. You can feel the difference thanks to that frontal boundary that came through last night. Of course, it also came with some storms for those up around San Marcos and Johnson City up towards the Blanco area. It was busy overnight, not here in San Antonio. So let's take a look outside, and you can just see it's clear. You know, the last several days we had haze and humidity and, fog and drizzle and all that kind of stuff. This picture looks a lot better, and that front has made the difference. 74 right now in San Antonio, 72 in New Braunfels. So we're running a few degrees cooler than we have been last few days. Even Bernie, I mean, that's a much better number, 68, 70 in Kerrville. And these humidity levels, yes, are still a little bit high, but they will continue to come down. And these dew points will continue to come down. Yesterday, we had dew points in the mid-70s at this time. Now we've got dew points in the 60s. We've got a northerly wind. So as you might imagine, these numbers will fall a little bit more. And by the afternoon, it will feel better. 73 at 8 o'clock. By noontime, 81. And our high today, 85. So that's about 10 degrees cooler than what we were looking at yesterday. And there's no heat index. Now, the winds out of the northeast will be a little bit breezy from time to time, 10 to 15 miles per hour. And we will call for a stray storm, although I'm not expecting much today. If we do see a storm, it's going to be mainly along the Rio Grande, and that's where we could see a strong storm or two. Mother's Day is going to be the next big topic of conversation. Showers and storms. We've got a decent shot of it during the day, especially early in the day on Mother's Day. We'll discuss that and more rain potentially next week. So the pattern is active. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast and zero in on the weekend, too. That's coming up here in just a couple minutes. Guys.
Thank you, sir. New this morning in Converse, a woman is in the hospital after she was shot multiple times overnight. Happened just before 10 p.m. in the 8600 block of Cheyenne Bluff. Officers say when they got there, they found the woman lying on the front porch of the home. She was still conscious and able to talk. Detectives were able to find out she was shot by a man who was also inside the home. The man had a gunshot wound that police say was self-inflicted, and he was unconscious when officers found him. Police say the two had recently ended a relationship. 3 kids were also in the home at the time of the shooting. However, police say they were not hurt.
This morning, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office still working to identify 2 suspects related to the shooting on Windsor Hollow. Wednesday night. During that shooting, a 4-year-old girl was killed and 4 others were badly hurt.
Our Avery Everett spoke to Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar, who says newer security footage is giving them a clearer view of the shooters.
New security footage shows a chilling moment as 2 suspects are seen shooting into a home in northeast Bexar County Wednesday night. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar released this video in hopes of identifying them.
They were there to inflict maximum damage.
We now know 5 people were hit by those bullets. 3 of them are kids under the age of 10, and the youngest, a 4-year-old girl, died overnight because of her injuries.
It's just something that we can't allow to happen anywhere, to anyone, much less a 4-year-old child.
The sheriff says a neighbor's surveillance video shows a closer look at the suspected shooters.
I think these guys knew exactly where they were going and what they were doing.
One angle of video shows a gray sedan driving down Windsor Hollow Wednesday night before 8 p.m.
This back window looking like it's chopped off.
The sheriff says that car is likely an Infiniti Q50. 2 men get out of the car, run toward the home, and then begin firing. Another angle shows a clearer picture of those suspects. These are the images being used by the sheriff to identify those 2 people. But descriptive details of these suspects are limited. The sheriff did believe they're 2 adult men.
Everybody's going to go to jail.
The sheriff says those 2 suspects fired 30 rounds into the townhome near Waltham Road. 2 units were hit with bullets, but the sheriff says only 1 was likely targeted. And that was where those 5 victims were found.
This was not a drive-by shooting where they shot from the street. They wanted to get out and get up close and personal.
The sheriff says those suspects were likely shooting Dracos, small AK-47 type weapons.
That's a devastating round by some people that absolutely intended to take lives.
As BCSO continues its investigation, Sheriff Salazar says finding these suspects is his top priority.
We've got a lot of people on this assigned to this case, and they're not going to stop until we get somebody in handcuffs. I can promise you that.
This is still a very active investigation. While the sheriff's office has released those 2 images of 2 suspects, the sheriff says there very well could be more suspects at play. As we learn more, we'll continue to keep you updated on KSAT.com. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Avery, thank you. To San Antonio City Council now, where nearly half its members are considering whether to force out City Attorney Andy Segovia. So the council members you see on your screen listed there now have expressed concern over a lack of transparency and inconsistent legal advice from the city's top attorney. Meanwhile, Segovia has all but accused council members of leaking information from confidential closed-door sessions. The final say on the city attorney, that rests with the city manager. You can read more about this story. Just head over to our website, KSAT.com.
This morning, a local teacher is counting her blessings after she was nearly hit by gunfire last weekend.
In March, we introduced you to Teresa Razzo and told you why she's working a side job as a rideshare driver to make ends meet. Now our Patty Santos tells us her vehicle is damaged and she'll be forced to take the bus and Uber now to get to work.
So show me where you have some of the damage to your car.
It's right here. If you see the bullet that hit right there, and then the other one hit this one. I had already replaced my tire, and this one is a spare tire, which actually hit something in there and messed up my radiator.
Her ride to work and ways to make extra money, punctured by bullet holes.
And I had just dropped off my last customer, and on the way to pick up the other one, I was ambushed by 2 cars.
It happened on Querida along Couples Road on May 5th around 3 in the morning.
So you were driving, you stopped because somebody in front of you stopped.
Correct. So because I stopped, the other truck that was behind the car managed to level up to me, and that's when he started firing.
Did you think the shots were being fired at you?
Absolutely not. I thought it was between them both.
She only remembers driving away to safety. The police report says those flying bullets also landed on a nearby home. The bullet went through the wall, but no one inside was hurt. An officer on the scene helped her change the tire punctured by a bullet, but the bullet also damaged her engine.
I learned my lesson about not driving past 9 o'clock.
And for now, you're not going to be doing any Uber driving, right?
No, I don't. With experience, traumatic experience that I've been going through, not right now, no.
Today, Rosso's friends are fundraising to help her pay for the damage to her vehicle. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Now, all of this happening during Teacher Appreciation Week, and she's actually a quarterfinalist for the Reader's Digest America's Favorite Teacher competition.
The winner gets $25,000 and a trip to Hawaii. Russell says if she won, she'd use the money to get her car fixed and pay medical expenses.
Well, now a live look over at San Antonio International Airport this morning. There's potential progress on a direct flight between San Antonio and Washington, D.C.'s Reagan National Airport. It's something that lawmakers have pushed for, and now new legislation could finally get it off the ground. The flight falls under a bill to reauthorize the Federal Aviation Administration. Senate lawmakers just approved it 88-4. Both Texas senators supported the bill. A provision would add 5 long-haul flights out of Reagan, which would include San Antonio. The House is expected to pass it. That vote could happen when lawmakers return to work early next week. A lot of politicians have been asking about that for years because Reagan is the closest airport to the district itself. Makes a big deal. Commuting back and forth between districts much easier. 510, 74 degrees.
Still ahead, how TikTok is making it easier to spot AI-generated content created on other platforms.
Attacked by sharks. Up next, how a Florida man says he was able to escape.
74 degrees. We got a cool front in overnight. It does feel nice not waking up to that thick wall of humidity that we've been experiencing for it feels like weeks on end. How long will it stick around for, and will our weekend look like? Justin will let us know when we come back. Welcome back. A 24-year-old man from Florida describing how he survived an attack by a swarm of sharks happening in the Bahamas. ABC's Stephanie Ramos had the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, surviving a shark swarm.
1 second I was jumping on the boat, everything was fine. And, next second I'm in the water with, a lot of sharks.
24-year-old Floridian Marlon Wakeman was working on a boat docked in the Bahamas when he slipped into shark-infested waters. And this morning, he's telling his story to GMA.
I was able to get my left hand back onto the side of the boat. And as I was going to put my right hand back on the side of the boat, the shark came up behind my right shoulder and try to bite me back here.
Generally speaking, these shark attacks, as they call them, are mistaken identity. It's a shark usually reacting to other food in the area, might be reacting to a frenzy. They're just trying to get as much food as possible, as quickly as possible, before other sharks outcompete them for that food.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of this shark survival story with your GMA First Look. I'm Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
5:15, 74 degrees.
Take a look outside with Trans Guide. Where is it?
It's coming.
It's coming. RJ, do something, RJ.
Oh, they said it locked up.
Oh, it locked up.
RJ, what did you do?
Well, RJ's going to be giving us an update on the roads when we come back.
I'm a guy who lost a bet and my dignity. As if watching my team lose wasn't punishment enough. What are you looking at, huh? It's a 1-speed. Hey, if you have cut rate car insurance, odds are you'll be paying for that yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me. Hey, I'm walking here.
Wow, that's good.
Almond Breeze? You like the almond breeze I got you. That's so interesting.
What's happening, Dad?
With delicious taste and 50% more calcium. Blue Diamond Almond Breeze. Don't just milk it, almond milk it.
How you start your day defines the rest of it. Start it with Philips Sonicare, with expertise and with the total confidence that you've done everything for your health. So you know you will always get it right. Philips.
Welcome back. 5:19. How are we looking now at just about 5:20?
All right, guys. Yeah, things looking pretty good. But of course, we are getting ready for Mother's Day. So there's going to be a lot of things going on. 1604 and I-10. We're going to talk about that here in just a bit. I know that Justin loves hearing these stories about the beams.
This guy.
He's a big beam guy. All right, we'll show you the maps here in just a little bit, but let's show you real quick our TransGuide traffic cameras across the city. Our current conditions: 37 Jones Avenue, traffic moved pretty well both directions there. 37 Loop 410 out in the far southeast side, same situation. 35 Rittiman, they have picked up some of that overnight construction there that we saw in that area. So really the only thing that we're seen at the moment is this other construction that's taking place, US 90 eastbound Nogalitos, but you see that not causing too many traffic delays in that area. Of course, this is for all of our folks that are coming in from the 90 eastbound up to 35, a little bit south of the downtown area. Okay, one more citywide map here, and let's see. These actually, I'm going to go ahead and take those off the map because our maps are indicating some other incidents that are taking place across the city. But don't worry about that. Not anything major at the moment right now. So I'll check on that here in just a bit. But we are talking about a closure here, 1604 I-10. You kind of already know the drill if you're out there, but a couple of changes here. First of all, they are going to wrap things up by Mother's Day. So by 7 a.m. Sunday, they're going to clear out all that construction. Yes, moms, you have gotten your wish here. We're going to have restaurants open at the Rim, the La Cantera area. So keep that in mind. So go ahead and make those plans for Mother's Day in this area because we are clearing things out Sunday by 7 a.m. in the morning. Now, of course, this closure starts tonight at 9 o'clock, weather permitting. Biggest things to kind of know right now is that I-10 East is going to be shut down, 1604 East as well. But I-10 West going up to Bernie, that's going to stay open. And 1604 West headed out to La Cantera Parkway, Babcock, UTSA area, that's going to stay open as well. But the 4 Cloverleafs, that will shut down. So just kind of keep that in mind. There's still going to be a lot of construction ongoing work in this area. And let's talk more about the beams because we have some drone video there of some of the work that we've seen out there in 1604. Let's see if we could pop up that drone video right now. Here we go. Look at that right there. So what you're looking at there is the first flyover ramp that's going to connect folks out there to I-10 headed west to Bernie. So there's been a lot of work over the past couple of weekends or so. They're continuing to install these beams for the second flyover ramp. So basically that's the work that they're doing out there, and they use these 800-ton cranes to get this equipment in and out of the area, and you see just the amount of work that's taking place there. So again, tonight 9 o'clock going through Sunday 7 a.m. So some good news if you are making some plans for Mother's Day out there in the La Cantera and the Rim area. All right, Justin, how are things going to be looking out there this weekend for Mother's Day? Of course, it's feeling cooler this morning, though. That's good.
It does. Yeah. It feels better, and we need it, too, because the temperatures yesterday were just crazy. You go down to the valley yesterday, the high temperature was 116 in La Puerta. That's down near Brownsville. That's an incredible number. I was digging through the records. I think this is the hottest temperature Texas has ever seen since records have been kept in the month of May. Not only that, there was a heat index yesterday in Brownsville of 129. This is May 9th we're talking about. Absolutely incredible, this kind of heat. Now, the good news is things are improving. Front has come through. It'll go through the valley, too, so it'll cool down there. 74 cloudy, dew point is at 68. Look, this is not a huge cool down, but it is a difference. North-northeasterly winds at about 12. And you look at the 24-hour dew point change, we're down about 7 degrees with that dew point. And that's enough to where if you walk outside, you say, feels just a little bit better than it did yesterday. The forecast, 73 at 8 o'clock, noontime, 81. We're going to keep a very small chance for shower or storm in there, but that's going to be mainly west of San Antonio. And our high temperature, right around 85. So 10 degrees cooler than yesterday when you're talking air temperature. The severe weather risk, well, there is one today. It's going to be west of San Antonio along the Rio Grande. I think if we can get some storms going out there, there certainly could be a couple of strong storms. So something we'll watch. But I think it's very isolated. And honestly, I think San Antonio probably misses out on any rain today. That may not be the case, though, through the entire weekend. So we're going to fast forward to 5 p.m. today. Does show a couple of storms out west. Then let's go into Saturday. Kind of same story. A lot of the action, I think, is going to be west into our northwest, but we're going to keep some small rain chances in on Saturday. It's Sunday, as some energy starts to come in, that I think we're going to get more widespread rain, especially Sunday morning. So Mother's Day plans, know that. Have an umbrella, be prepared for some rain, especially if you plan to be outdoors. I think this probably lasts through early afternoon, and then the showers and storms will start to move to the north and east. I don't really anticipate a lot of severe weather, but there could be some thunder and lightning, certainly, and maybe 1 or 2 strong storms mixed in on Sunday. This is a severe weather risk on Sunday, and it does include parts of San Antonio. So the Mother's Day weekend forecast, 82 Saturday, 81 Sunday, with a 40% chance of showers and storms. Putting it all together here, 82 tomorrow, 81 Sunday, 87 Monday. Still some storm chances. We get a little bit of a break Tuesday. It's hot. And then more rain chances by Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be right back.
Just about 5:28, TikTok has updated its policy for labeling AI-generated content. ABC's Andrew Dembert has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, TikTok is beefing up its control over content. The social media company is adding a feature allowing it to automatically label AI-generated content created on other platforms. That's something it already does for its own material. Apple is apologizing after facing backlash over an ad for its latest iPad Pro saying, "We missed the mark and we're sorry." The ad was widely seen as dismissive to the creative community, showing a hydraulic press crushing musical instruments, paint, and other items used by artists, all to create the new iPad. Finally, Microsoft will launch an Xbox mobile gaming store in July, meant to be an alternative to Apple and Google app stores. The store will focus on mobile games from Microsoft, various studios, including Call of Duty, Candy Crush Saga, and others, before expanding in the future. Microsoft usually excels with products. That's not just my outlook. You have their word. Those are your Tech Bites.
Oh, Andrew, 5:28, 74 degrees.
Okay, if you're seeing white powder take over some of your vegetables or flowers, don't worry. We'll show you how to get your garden healthy again ahead in Gardening with KSAT.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, today kicks off a busy weekend for Mother's Day. Patty Santos is live at a flower shop with how you can keep your flowers fresh for longer. And good morning to you. We made it to Friday. It is May 10th.
Happy Friday. Happy to be with you, gentlemen.
Good to have you here with us this morning.
And you'll be back with me on Saturday.
Yeah, like tomorrow.
So don't freak out if you see Mark on air. It's not a weekday, it's a weekend.
We had people writing going, no fair, thought it was a weekday, thought I was running late.
But it's always fun to have you on the weekend party.
All right, so we'll do this again all over again tomorrow morning is what I meant to say.
Okay.
All right. What's going on, guys?
I'll wake up early and watch. Maybe. No, I will.
Going to a concert tonight. So check you guys out.
RJ's on the fence.
Later.
RJ's on the fence. That's okay. Hey, yesterday, guys, it was a busy day, severe weather-wise. We had some big storms take shape up across parts of the hill country, and they worked their way down towards I-35. So crossing Johnson City, Dripping Springs, just south of Austin to San Marcos, was a path. It basically was a supercell. You can almost detect the path there just based on the storm reports. Those are hail reports, by the way. And then wind. San Marcos got hit with wind-driven hail, large hail. So there's likely some damage there. We haven't got any pictures yet. So if you're in San Marcos and you got some damage photos, send them our way. You can do that through KSAT Connect. That's the easiest way we can put some of those pictures on air. But total 198 reports yesterday. Massive hail in Dripping Springs, San Marcos, wind-driven hail, as we said. And it wasn't just Texas. I mean, this stretched all across the southeastern portion of the country. Very, very busy. We did not see anything here in San Antonio, though. And it was all because of this front, which is now seeped south towards Corpus Christi. And no, it is not jacket weather outside by any stretch of the imagination. We're still in the mid-70s, but the humidity levels are down. And there will be a bit of a change today. Yesterday, we were up around 95. Heat index was somewhere around 104. So today, we're forecasting 85 with no heat index. That's a pretty good change. 85 in New Braunfels, 86 in Seguin later this afternoon, 88 in Pearsall, 88 in Uvalde. So better. And we have some cooler temperatures on the way this weekend, plus some rain chances too. We'll discuss here in just a couple minutes. Let's get back over to RJ. Any issues on this Friday morning?
All right, Justin, things looking pretty good out there. If you're about to step outside right now, again, temperatures feeling just a little bit cooler. So that is nice if you're about to step out. 35 Loop 410, traffic moving pretty well both directions there. Downtown camera here, 35 southbound at Main Avenue. And let's see if we get one more here, 90 Nogalitos. Okay, wanted to see this one because we've had some ongoing construction in that area. That looks like that has been cleared out, so that's good news there. 35 southbound at South Cross, we do have a stalled vehicle. This is south of right there, that 90-35 area. So if you're running into the Division Avenue area, coming to South Cross Boulevard, might run into this stalled vehicle, but it doesn't appear to be causing too many delays. And looks like we have cleared out this construction there, 90 eastbound Nogalitos. So I will go ahead and make that adjustment on my end and clear that away from our maps. As we move on through the rest of the morning, the citywide view here, everything else looking pretty good. Again, we have cleared out a lot of ongoing construction, lingering construction construction overnight. Northeast side looks pretty good. Northwest side, of course, there will be a future closure there later tonight. So we'll talk about that as we go along. Good morning, San Antonio. But again, everything else looking pretty good if you're about to step outside right now. Mark and Sarah, back to you guys.
This morning, an instructional assistant at Northside ISD is in jail. Jacob Hallam was arrested after being accused of assaulting an autistic student at Connolly Middle School. According to arrest paperwork, Hallam was caught on camera slapping that special education student and forcing her to swallow food. In a statement, a spokesperson for NISD said the individual, an instructional assistant hired August 25, 2023, resigned March 6, 2024, amid an investigation by NISD police, employee relations, CPS, and campus administration after the parents of the female student reported concerns to the campus. This remains an active investigation, end quote.
Well, University Health is breaking ground on a new facility they hope will provide better health care opportunities. The project at University Health Wheatley will offer primary care urgent clinic needs as well as a pharmacy. Officials hope this new clinic will meet the growing needs on the city's east side.
Our goal is to actually be next to the neighborhoods where people are able to access these services much easier, without needing to worry about the bus routes or worry about, transportation.
The clinic is scheduled to open in 2026.
Summer is coming up fast, and the city of San Antonio is expanding a program aimed at reducing heat in residential areas. Its Cool Pavement program launched last year to great success. 10 streets got the quote-unquote cool pavement treatment last year, and the plan is to add more cool pavement to city neighborhoods. A study in partnership with UTSA found the treatment can make a difference between 4 and up to 18 degrees.
What cool pavement is, it's a spray-on asphalt treatment that goes over roadways that increases the reflectivity of the sunlight.
Cool. So the cool pavement is expensive. The first 10 streets cost $1 million. But the chief sustainability officer for the city says it could end up saving money in other ways. For example, it could keep you from having to crank up the AC during the summer months. Now to the war in Gaza. Despite President Biden's warning to withhold weapons to Israel if it invades Rafah, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's ready to stand alone without U.S. support if necessary.
ABC's M. Nguyen in Washington with the latest on those escalating tensions.
Great comeback. In the face of President Biden's threat to withhold weapons from Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu is staying the course, saying if we have to stand alone, we will stand alone. That response exacerbating tensions between Israel and the White House. The president warning Netanyahu not to invade Rafah, where more than 1 million civilians have sought refuge. Biden on CNN.
I've made it clear to Bibi and the War Cabinet, they're not going to get our support if, in fact, they go in these population centers.
Biden already halting a shipment of 3,500 bombs, saying the U.S. will not provide offensive weapons to Israel to attack the southern Gaza city. But other defensive weapons are still flowing to Israel from the U.S. Israeli forces have launched what they describe as limited operations in Rafah, with Netanyahu telling Dr. Phil in a new interview overnight that the area is Hamas's final stronghold.
We've destroyed about 20 battalions of the Hamas's 24 terrorist battalions. We have another 4 to go there in Rafah. And that's why we want to go into Rafah, because we can't leave them there.
It comes as ceasefire talks have stalled, with Israel and Hamas at odds over the parameters of a potential agreement. The U.S. also making it clear any deal must apply to all of Gaza, but Israel apparently pushing for it to exclude Rafah.
A major military operation in Rafah would further weaken Israel's standing in the world, would further create distance from its partners in the region, who actually share Israel's goal of seeing Hamas defeated.
The White House opposing an Israeli ground invasion in Rafah unless there's a credible humanitarian plan to protect the civilians there. But so far, Israel has not revealed one and vows to move ahead in its military operations. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
back here at home. Here's something else for you to do this weekend. Support our veterans.
For the first time ever, the Wilson County Veterans Services Office and the group Coffee, Cars, and Veterans, well, they're hosting a barbecue throwdown.
That's right. Tomorrow, veterans from the Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force will compete to see which has the best skills on the grill. Anyone could go.
All the money from the event will go towards helping veterans and their families.
Family members serve with the veteran throughout their career. And when they come out, many veterans are longing for that same camaraderie, that same family experience. So that is what this event is about. We want to plug veterans in and transitioning service members, get them connected with services and for them and their family members.
Coffee, Cars, and Veterans, we will have our cars here. I have a 1930 Model A, which we will be bringing. And some of the other members have classic cars, and they will be here as well.
Very cool. There will also be a car show, food trucks, and events for kids. Again, the barbecue throwdown happening tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 435 State Highway 97 East in Floresville.
Sounds like fun. 540, 74 degrees.
Oh boy, that high humidity and that lots of cloud coverage we've been seeing for 3 weeks now can mean fungal diseases on your plants. Up next in Gardening with KSAT, the perfect ingredients you need to get your garden healthy again.
But the big question mark as we go into Mother's Day weekend is what is going to happen with the potential for showers and storms. The good news this morning, Justin says that front has come through and things feel much more comfortable out there to start our Friday. We have had almost 3 weeks of unrelenting high humidity and lots of cloud coverage with very little sun, which can result in some, well, you're told, nasty fungal diseases on your plants.
Yeah, you're probably seeing it in your garden. So if you're seeing white powder take over the leaves of your vegetables or the leaves of your zinnia flowers, don't worry. Not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. In this Gardening with KSAT, I show you what that powdery mildew looks like, why we're seeing it in our area right now, and how to organically treat it. Don't get me wrong, I love the more than 3 inches of rain we've had in April, but with the rain comes high humidity and lots of cloud coverage, which can also mean fungal diseases on our plants. We're talking about powdery mildew, and unfortunately, it's in the KSAT garden. But don't freak out. Once the sun comes out, it should naturally cure it. Most of the time, it's an aesthetic issue and won't majorly harm your plants, but sometimes it can be severely damaging like it has been to my potatoes. If caught early, you can tackle it with a homemade organic spray, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of liquid non-detergent soap, and 1 gallon of water. Spray a liberal amount directly on the front and back of the leaves. 1 or 2 treatments should do the trick, especially when the sun comes out and cures it naturally. Unless the mildew is this bad like it's on my potatoes, that's when you want to cut the foliage all the way back. The potatoes may or may not sprout leaves again, but here's the good news. The potatoes under the soil are probably just fine. Make sure you spray those stems with the mixture as well and clean your trimmers so you don't spread any more disease. If you have any more questions about potential diseases on your plants, my friends at Rainbow Gardens are super knowledgeable.
You can see the KSAT garden from our break room. I saw those potatoes and I wonder what's going on?
Well, Sarah Spivey sent me a text me like, potatoes not looking so great. And I thought, oh, well, because before you harvest potatoes, they die. Like the stems die, and that's when you know.
I didn't know.
I was like, oh, it's almost harvest time. And then I went out there and looked at it. I was like, ooh,
they're not ready.
That's not
They're still
what that
baby
is.
potatoes?
Yeah, but no, all this fungal diseases and stuff, I love all this rain, but that's what's unfortunately happening.
That's the downside.
But here's the thing, it's gonna go away when the sun goes up.
Sure.
Yeah, or you just cut back that foliage.
Okay.
We'll be okay.
Thank you, Sarah. 546, 74 degrees.
Take a look outside with Trans Guide. RJ really just focusing on some construction throughout the weekend. He'll update you guys on that when we come back.
All right, 5:50 right now on your Friday morning. Quick check of TransGuide traffic here. Our cameras, take a look. I-10, Hackberry, traffic moving pretty well both directions there. 35, Loop 410, same situation there as well. A couple things to let you know about. Stalled vehicle being reported far north side, 1604 eastbound at Stone Oak Parkway. Looking like it's causing a little bit of delays in this area right now for all of our folks going onto eastbound lanes of 1604. Something we will continue to monitor. TxDOT just actually put that one up here just a little while ago. South side now. now. Stalled vehicles still being reported, 35 southbound at South Cross, not causing too many delays for anyone that's driving through the Division Avenue and South Cross Boulevard area. Okay, weekend events. It is Mother's Day. There's going to be a lot going on, especially around downtown San Antonio. So we've been talking about the Luke Combs concert, expecting about 30 to 40,000 people there for a two-night show here. That's going to be starting tonight, this evening, and Saturday nights. And we're also going to have the Texas Eats Food Festival. Don't forget about that. That's going to be out there. Smoked barbecue. Not only that, we have the Asian Festival going on at La Vita. We have NostalgiaCon going on at the Convention Center and the Children's Ballet of San Antonio at the Majestic. The NostalgiaCon, expect to be seeing some Pikachus or some Power Rangers walking around downtown San Antonio. But either way, you're going to need to plan ahead when it comes to parking and traffic in the area. We have 3 city lots, designated city lots in this area. That's the Convention Center lot, the Alamo lot, and the Martinez garage right there. So those are all city-owned lots. You can feel safe parking in those areas right there. Now, if you want to go ahead and think about maybe some park and ride options, we have 2 options for the Alamo Dome. So this is specifically for the Luke Combs concert. This is going to be the Crossroads Park and Ride. That's going to start up at 3 o'clock today and tomorrow. And then we also have the Randolph Transit Center, same situation there, starting today, 3 o'clock, if you are headed out to Luke Combs. One thing, though, keep in mind, it's about $260 for a round trip, but again, it is a safe option to get to and from the downtown, the Alamo Dome area, and back to your destination out there, Crossroads and the Randolph area. All right, Justin, what should people be expecting out there for Mother's Day weekend?
Some rain. We're going to get some showers and storms, I think, on Mother's Day, especially early in the day. Yesterday was busy. We were starting to get some pictures in of the damage last night. That mainly one supercell storm that came through San Marcos and made its way down to about Kingsbury before it fell apart. But some wind damage there in Kingsbury. Of course, this is near Seguin, just north and east of Seguin. You can see some of the tree branches down. Those are some pretty strong winds, and we know that San Marcos sustained quite a bit of damage. We'll have some pictures out of there coming up here soon. Let's take a look outside. Boy, it looks better. We have better visibility this morning. We don't have the fog, the mist, the drizzle, or the smoke. The last couple of days it's been so hazy because we've gotten some of that smoke coming up from Mexico and Central America. The front has kind of cleared all that out, and it looks better here on our live cam. 74 at the airport, 72 New Braunfels, 76 in Pleasanton. And we've got some 60s on the map. Thank goodness there in Bertie. Northeasterly winds just about everywhere. And those winds will be a little bit breezy today, but that's the kind of wind that pushes in the drier air and what we'd hope for. Dew points are dropping. We're in the upper 60s when it comes to dew points. And look, that's still muggy, but it's not in that territory like it has been last few days where it's just so thick that it's not fun to be outside. Forecast for today, 73 at 8 o'clock and by noontime 81. We will keep it in a small chance of a shower or storm, mainly west of San Antonio this afternoon. Otherwise 85. That's about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. There is a small risk of a couple strong storms out west. Del Rio and Eagle Pass mainly are the areas I want to watch. The risk of seeing a storm is low, but if one were to develop, it could be strong to severe, and the computer models do show some of that activity out west. As we get into tomorrow, pretty similar setup. Small chance of a shower or storm, and we'll start to see some of those creep a little bit closer to San Antonio late in the day. And then I think as we get into Saturday night, Sunday morning, our rain chances go up. So Mother's Day could be potentially wet. We could even see a strong storm or two. I'm not looking for widespread severe weather, but we do need to watch that. Good chances of rain through maybe early afternoon before the rain scoots east. And then we'll get a break as we get into Monday. There is a small risk, though, severe weather, as I said, including San Antonio up towards parts of North Texas. Extended forecast. We'll go 82 Saturday, 81 Sunday. So a little bit cooler. 40% chance of storms on Sunday. Still some chances Monday, and additional chances as we get into next week. We'll be right back.
Ahead the next hour, GMSA today kicks off a busy weekend for Mother's Day. Patty Santos is live at a San Antonio flower shop with how you can keep your flowers fresher longer. A local teacher working a second job is counting her blessings today after she was nearly hit by gunfire last weekend. We'll hear from her on the ordeal next. And checking TransGuide as we go to break once again. I-10 at the Y, flashing lights, I-10s at the Crossroads Park and Ride, and some slower traffic out there. and there's I-10 at Hackberry. We'll talk to RJ and get an update on our weekend forecast with Justin after this break.